Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's Diego with the lovely Karina, my beautiful prometida. And we're waiting for our K1 visa to get adjudicated at the service center in California, US of A. And we've been waiting since April of 2022. Our NOA1 letter is April 18th, 2022. Now we don't count days, so I don't know how many days that is, since today is March 15th. But we're waiting and waiting and waiting, just like you guys. Now I live in the panhandle of Florida, near Pensacola, north of Navarre Beach, and Karina is from Caracas, Venezuela, beautiful Venezuela, and she is a legal resident of Bogota, Colombia since July 2018. And this video, ladies and gentlemen, is about K1 visa successes for fiscal year 2022 out of Nepal. Raise your hand if you've heard of Nepal. Where's Nepal? Do you know where it is? Where is it at? Where is it located? Come on along. We'll talk about Nepal. Now, Nepal is officially called the Federal Democratic Republic of Nepal. And it's a landlocked country. Landlocked means they don't have a beach. Oh my goodness. I'm sorry guys, maybe you can put swimming pools in, but there's no beach in Nepal. Now, the country is mainly situated in the Himalayas. Well, that explains that. And it also includes part of the Indo-Gangetic Plain, bordering the Tibet and the autonomous region of Communist China to the north. India is to the south. So basically, Nepal is like a buffer, it would appear, between Communist China and India. And while it is narrowly separated from Bangladesh by the Siliguri corridor, another corridor. I hope they have a bus route. Okay, from Bhutan by the Indian state of Sikkim. Okay, so Nepal is situated in a very interesting part of the world. Nepal has a very diverse geography, ladies and gentlemen. And if you studied geography in high school, you want to know that Nepal has very fertile plains, has forested hills, and has 8 of the world's 10 most tallest mountains. So the 10 tallest mountains in the world, Nepal's got 8 of them, including Mount Everest, okay? Which is what? The highest point on Earth. If you want to climb Mount Everest, knock yourself out. Now, Nepal is multi-ethnic, okay, multilingual, multi-religious, and multicultural. So it's just like the United States, but different languages. And Nepali is actually the official language of Nepal. And Kathmandu is the nation's capital and the largest city. So Kathmandu, Tokyo. That reminds me of Tokyo, our cat we're bringing to the United States from Colombia. The Constitution of Nepal was adopted in 2015, ladies and gentlemen, and it affirms the country's role as a secular federal parliamentary republic divided into 7 provinces. And Canada is divided into provinces, the United States is divided into states. We got 50 states. Nepal's got 7 provinces. And Nepal is governed according to its constitution. If it's not in the constitution, it's not legal. You can't do it. And the constitution of Nepal defines it as having, multi-ethnic, like I mentioned. So the country is committed to its constitutional governance. Like South America, where Karina, my prometida, lives in Colombia, Nepal is seismically active. Okay, Nepal actually sits on the Indian tectonic plate, which continues to move north 2 inches a year relative to Asia. So every year, all this land moves 2 inches forward north, which makes Nepal very prone to earthquakes, and periodic earthquakes at that, which have devastating consequences and create a significant hurdle for development. You have to build a house, an earthquake knocks it down. You rebuild it, an earthquake knocks it down. Just like in Colombia. There's a church in Bogota. They build it, earthquakes knock it down. They rebuild it, earthquakes knock it down. That's called Guadalupe. There's a church in Guadalupe. Same scenario, same situation. Now, tourism is a large, very rapidly growing industry in Nepal. Lots of folks are going to Nepal on vacation, probably because of the 8 tallest mountains in the world are there. And the tourist industry in Nepal employs over 1 million people and contributes to 7.9% of the total gross domestic product, or GDP. And according to a 2011 census, Nepal's population was 26.5 million people. The emblem of Nepal depicts the snowy Himalayas and forested hills and the fertile terrain, okay, supported by a wreath of rhododendrons. That's a long name for a flower, rhododendrons. With the national flag at the crest in the foreground, okay? A plain white map of Nepal is below it, and a man's hand and a woman's hand are joined together to signify gender equality. So Nepal is all about equality, which is good. Now, Nepal's flag is the only flag in the whole world that is not rectangular in shape, okay? And the Constitution of Nepal contains instructions. So the Constitution instructed the citizens of Nepal how to construct their flag. And it's a geometric construction of the double pennant, okay? But if you turn it up on its side, it looks like 2 mountains. And Nepal is famous for its mountains, so I can understand why the flag looks like is in the shape of a pennant. According to its official description, the crimson in the flag stands for victory and warring courage, and is also the color of the rhododendron. Back to the flower. And the flag's blue border signifies the Nepalese people's desire for peace, which is good. And the moon on the flag is a symbol of the peaceful, calm nature of the Nepali people, and the sun represents the aggressiveness and the toughness of the Nepali warriors. And I tell you, they're strong people. They should look at some of those folks, those Sherpas that climb those mountains. Now, Karina and I, we have this apartment in Bogota, in Colombia. That's at the top floor of this edificio, so it's up the 4th floor. So we got to walk up 4 flights of stairs to get to our apartment, which is at the top. So like the penthouse, so we can look down and see, see the road and see everything. Montserrat is over here, beautiful view. So I can imagine what it's like. I mean, I get to carry all these groceries and everything up and down 4 flights of stairs. So I can just imagine what it's like climbing Mount Everest in Nepal. I just couldn't imagine. I think I'm going to pass on that adventure. Now, of course, when you go to Nepal, you're going to have some spending money. You can't spend dollars in Nepal, U.S. dollars. They have what's known as the Nepalese rupee, okay? And the Nepalese rupee is subdivided into 100 peso. Just like in Colombia, you got pesos. In Nepal, they have paisa. And the issuance of the currency is controlled by the Nepal Rashtra Bank. So they got banks over there too, up on the mountains. And the Central Bank of Nepal also creates the currency. The Nepalese rupee was introduced in 1932. Very interesting. Now let's talk about visas, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. In the beautiful country of Nepal, which is landlocked, just a reminder, no beach, the United States government, the U.S. State Department, approved and issued 67 K1 visas to the wonderful citizens of Nepal, so they can get on a plane and fly to the United States and get married to their sponsors. Now, I don't even know if Nepal has an airport. That's a good question. Let me know. Tell me if you know if Nepal has an airport. I don't know. Okay, now, I want to give a shout out to UD in Nepal. UD, thank you for this suggestion for a video about your country, Nepal. Beautiful place. And I want you guys to get ready for that scary immigration interview at the U.S. Embassy in Nepal. And right now, let me give the folks a little bit of information about the embassy in Nepal. etc. The U.S. Embassy in Nepal is in Kathmandu, and the phone number I'll put right here. That's the phone number, and they have a fax number, but I don't see any email address. Okay? So hang in there, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen. You will get your K1 visa wherever it is you live in the world, whether it's in Nepal or wherever. You just got to follow this one rule. Well, actually, there's two rules. Number one, the first rule is you got to qualify for the K1 visa benefit. And the second rule, and the most important rule, is you got to be patient. Patience is a virtue in this process. It's not a quick process, ladies and gentlemen, okay? I keep reiterating this over and over. Be patient. Don't count days. If you count days, you'll go crazy. I see people on Facebook, wherever, go, oh, I'm on day 422. Okay, you're on day 422. What does that mean? The only day you need to be concerned about, ladies and gentlemen, is the day your K1 visa gets approved by the State Department, and then you move to the next step, which is embassy processing, and then you schedule your embassy interview. The embassy will get your visa, give you a case number, and then they'll mail it off to the U.S. Embassy. And in this case, it's in Kathmandu, Nepal. Thanks for watching. Hang in there, guys, and we are here for you.
I'll be back.